Time for a show. It's 6:30. Time to do this. Wow. It's a little flat. I was drinking that last night while I was watching TV. I'm rewatching all the Marvel movies because Disney Plus. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday, November 21st, 2019. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Well, yesterday was a pretty productive day. I got all my work done. I went to the gym. I coached some CrossFit. I watched some TV. Spent some time with friends. It was a good day. It's one of those days that you just look at overall and say, hey, what else do I need? This is pretty phenomenal. And last night it was warm enough. I was lucky enough to see deer out in the yard eating apples. So that was cool. One of them, just good size. So, if somebody doesn't get her, she will have no problem making it through winter. That's for sure. Hope you had a good day. Today's Thursday, and was the first thing we talked about on Thursdays. Martial Arts Radio, new episode out. Did an episode on judging, competition judging. I prefer to call it refereeing. Most people use the term judging. This came in. It's been a bunch of. How do I want to put it? A bunch of inquiry. Several people seeking my opinion on this one. And I discussed the complexity of it because for every problem, there are plenty of options for solutions, but most of them are very challenging to implement. So we talked about that, and of course you can find that here on YouTube, in your podcast feed, whistlekick, martialartsradio.com, all over the place. So, what else? Got a bunch of little stuff today, and if I'm diligent, I'm taking tomorrow off. Looking forward to that. I don't know what I'm doing. Might try to get outside. I don't even know what the weather's going to be tomorrow, but we'll find out. I haven't been on a hike in a while. Been a couple months. So maybe I'll do that. Well, regardless, got some questions for you that I'm going to answer. So let's do it. Remember, you want to ask a question? Drop it below. I'll answer it tomorrow. We got 3 quotes today. The first one from Robert Parker. A little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. What do you think? The majority of the time, yeah. There are a little bit of food is better than nothing. A little bit of friendship is better than nothing. A little bit of martial arts is better than nothing. Some people will disagree with that one. They'll disagree with the idea that they'll say, a little bit of martial arts knowledge is more likely to get you into trouble. I disagree. Because what gets you into trouble is your confidence. And if you are overly confident, as much as that will create some situations that escalate, the confidence itself is going to keep others from escalating. So I think it evens out. But of course, you got to start somewhere. So we need to value a little bit of martial arts knowledge. Else we're telling people, hey, don't start martial arts because you're better off without it unless you can get to this point. So get through this point really, really fast. That's silly. I don't want to do that. 2 quotes from Dale Carnegie. First one. 2 men looked out from prison bars. One saw the mud, the other saw stars. I think it's saying that Your reality is your reality, but it all depends on your perspective. Perspective doesn't change your reality, but it can certainly have a pretty strong impact on how you feel and how you evaluate and choose your options. Tend to look at the stars. Maybe too much. That's okay. I was having a discussion with someone last night about how the further out in the timeline you get, the more optimistic people are. If you ask someone about what's going to happen with them professionally in the next month, they're usually pretty realistic, maybe even overly conservative. But if you start to look out years, decades, most people tend to be optimistic, overly optimistic. And this happens not only in the way they look at, say, their job, but it happens in business, the way people make projections for their business. And this person and I we were having a conversation about an area of business that we're both familiar with and some changes that are happening. And just some things that we would do differently if we were in charge. Which of course is always it's in a sense a hollow conversation, because people tend to simplify things. They tend to oversimplify things when they look at the complexity of a situation, and I'm sure I'm doing that too. All you have to do is, one of the things I've learned is that if you start a sentence with all you have to do, or you really just need to, you're probably wrong, because situations tend to be much more complicated than we make them out to be. It's like when people are trying to solve issues around hunger or poverty or violence. I see people start, well, you just need to. No, you need to do much more than that. Because no decision you make is in a vacuum. It affects other people and other things and other systems. And it's that ripple, that butterfly effect. It's never that easy. Frank's making me think this morning. Those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. Those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. I don't know that I fully get that one. Maybe because I'm not fully awake. But it seems to be talking about having a deeper understanding and the importance of having a deeper understanding. If you have a surface understanding of a subject, it can be easy for someone to change your mind. But your mind's been changed based on, likely, again, a surface understanding of that subject. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. In fact, the ability to change your mind, I think, is pretty critical. The ability to understand someone else's perspective is pretty darn important. And if you can't understand it, then how can you know that your opinion is truly your own opinion? To say, I believe this, when you don't understand the options of the other things you could believe. When you want to eat this food, we'll go take it to a food analogy, generally pretty easy. The best food in the world is this, but you've never eaten anything else. That wouldn't make sense. No one Anybody would be able to see the flaw in that logic. But when it comes to opinions around politics, which we're not going any deeper than just using the word politics, if you can't understand different perspectives, different opinions, how can you say they're wrong? How can you say you disagree? I disagree with something I don't understand. Well, that's silly. That's completely illogical. I'm gonna drink with my pinky up. Pinky up coffee. I've definitely learned to embrace that coffee. I think this is one that's gonna hang out in my head today. Those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. No, it's not quite what I was answering. Against their will. Against what they want. Talked out of something that's important to you. No, I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully get this one. Maybe when I wake up. We are almost done with a new product that will be coming out for the holidays. I'm super pumped about it. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be kind of cool. I like it. Yeah, Stacy's agreeing. It certainly is a heady quote, especially for 6:45 a.m. It really is. I've sent over the holiday promotions, and we're working on the newsletters and the social media graphics. Oh, here's a thing that we just recently announced that I'll let you know about. So if you're on Facebook, you've likely seen the Facebook top fan thing. Did I talk about this? Maybe I did. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, good morning, Casper. You had a birthday recently, if I recall. Happy birthday. So Facebook's got that top fan designation. Oh, okay. I did do this already. Well, bottom line, if you're a Facebook top fan, we're going to throw you a discount. And if you're one of, and we'll randomly select a person to get a big discount, 50% off one item. It could be this new item that I'm talking about, this new mystery thing, which is an apparel item, and pretty pumped for. Should be cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Nothing else to really talk about with the business. I gotta send some money on those pants samples. I think I'll do that today. I ordered more, for those of you that are aware of the Olympic Taekwondo hands and feet, these socks, as some people call them. Put an order in we're out of like 2 or 3 sizes. I ordered more of those. Black foam gear and black and white, actually. Black and white foam gear is happening. That production is just started. So yeah, I'm working on it. I am working on it, people. I'm doing the best I can. What else? Case. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm looking for more and it's not there, so instead of taking this out another 10 minutes like I do sometimes. How do you think martial arts helps to integrate your aggressive self? Well, I like that choice of the word integrate, because being aggressive. Oh, Casper, I need you to do that one again. I didn't catch that last piece. So obviously, being aggressive has its place in martial arts. If you're sparring, if you're in a self-defense situation, if you're throwing techniques on a bag, if you're too timid, you're either not going to progress, not learn what you need to learn, or maybe you get hurt or worse. But of course, being aggressive all the time puts other people, including you, at risk. It is unpleasant, it's frowned upon in society, and if you're too aggressive in your training, you'll burn out. I mean, you won't make it through a class if you're overly aggressive, right? You have to find a balance. So how do you handle that? The more you understand the aggressive side of your personality and how that fits into who you are and when to call on it and when not to, the more integrated that part of you is with the rest of you, the better you can shift into that gear to understand, hey, this is an appropriate time to be this way, or this is not. The more comfortable you are with being in that place, the easier it will be to call on it. And the better off you will be by having that part of you available. A lot of us have a hard time with that full integration of all the different aspects of who we are. It can be really challenging, and it's something that I'm working on. I'm getting better at sticking up for myself. I'm getting better at being unapologetic of who I am, that others don't have to like me. I want everyone to like me, but they don't, and that's okay. And maybe eventually I'll actually believe that it's okay. I won't just say it. I know it's okay, but I don't feel it. So how do you integrate that aggressive part of you in martial arts? By being aggressive as you do certain things and being passive or relaxed as you do those same things. The ability to switch back and forth. And it's a skill like anything else. I can, let's take the example of hitting a heavy bag. I can hit that heavy bag really hard and be, kind of chilled out inside while I do it and relax. And, I'm hitting it hard, but whatever. And I can also be intense and angry and loud and aggressive while I do those exact same techniques just as hard. And feeling the difference and knowing what it's like to have that intent behind training. It's like almost everything else we do in martial arts. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. The more you understand it. I think that's a good place to leave it. Don't forget, we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, here on YouTube. It's okay, not what you talk about, but what you do, my friend. Thank you. Casper's been on the show. If you haven't checked out, I forget what episode number you are, but it was a good one. 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you get notified about this show and Martial Arts Radio. And I should probably do another installment of Who'd Win. It's been a couple months. Should figure that out. And what else? If you want to ask a question, drop it below. Or email me if you happen to be listening to this later on in your podcast app, jeremy@whistlekick.com. Go check out episode, 451 on judging, and let me know what you think. I'm not going to give you homework today. I just don't feel like it. No homework today. Have a great, great day. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.